let's see. Okay, so I don't know if this is actually working. Let's turn the thingy down a little bit, or up a little bit. Sensitivity, up or down? I need to turn the sensitivity down, or no, up. Up. Okay, there you go. We'll try this. Okay, there. I don't know what's going to happen, so I don't know if you can actually see me, but it looks like you might be able to. Hopefully you will. So I don't know if this will actually work, so, but yeah. Trying to put the two things here together with this lav mic. I know it looks a little bit awkward, the lav here, but you know, we'll see how it goes, I guess. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, and then we'll see. So because I looked up things on what's it called? Oh my gosh, what's it called? Can I use well, I'm looking for like a good free editing software. Just if I turn on a setting. Oh, it is. The date is Monday, August 30th, 2021. I don't have a phone here. I don't have my phone with me. I have this though. Okay, try to probably put this. Let's try this stopwatch. This looks like thing that'll ring though. So clear start. I don't know. I don't know if that'll get too hot. I don't know. Whatever. So yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. So it. So yeah, because I'm looking for different like editing softwares that are free. And you know, you get the same ones all the time. Try Movie Maker. Try iMovie. Try whatever, right? And I'm like, but those suck. And I was like, no, they're actually pretty. Look, they're not the worst. It's just there are certain features that they just don't have. And I feel like they're what's the word? They're pretty basic features, pretty essential features. But I guess to some people, no. Because I guess to a lot of people, I'm assuming that it's all I needed to do, all I ever needed to do, all it'll ever need to do is put two clips together. Oh, I know it's a little bit wonky on that side. It's not the worst, whatever. Could deal with it. Anyway, and so for a lot of people, that's all that I ever need to do. Put two clips together. Bam. One. Done. Record something. Or the third thing, or the second thing that somebody would need to do, man, it's hot. Wow. Is put music under that. That's it. Or like maybe at worst, put together two voice tracks. That's it. Which, okay, fine. If that's all you ever needed to do, Movie Maker works fine. Movie Maker works well. I don't know if you can see audio waveforms for your audio, but if you can, well then yeah, it's fine enough. But apparently, what's it called, is really useful. Is it still recording? I believe so. Anyway, let me just check. Yes, I believe so. Anyway, so yeah, audio waveforms. It's like, oh well, if all it ever needs to do is audio waveform, then yeah. Oh, sorry. Like add whatever. Because I did not use, but I watched my friend use it on the phone, the iMovie. It's actually not that bad. It depends on what you need to do, obviously. Obviously, nobody's going to really make a movie with it, but, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some things, some fairly medium production things that were like medium budget, medium production things, not high production, not high budget, but not necessarily like low budget, like I'm trying to be the cheapest of cheap, that are made with iMovie. Because unlike Movie Maker, iMovie actually gives you certain functions. Like the one thing I wanted it to do, which you would think would have been a more simpler, more like necessary, more essential feature, is zoom in my video. Because I wanted to try and so what I've been doing lately is been trying to put my or set up my old computer back with Windows XP to play some games, and I was like, okay, great. Because I found basically everything I need except for I don't think I can connect. Because I'm going to use something, you've probably heard of this. It's probably old, whatever, but Hypercam 2. Everybody had that, like, the watermark on the side. Yeah. So, Anyway. But then the editing software that I found has a screen capture function. So I'm like, is that better though? But see, because the problem is with Hypercam 2, it doesn't let me. It only picks up like it boxes up the stuff. It's like you either put in your own parameters, or you like your own aspect ratio, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. Or you choose an area, or you choose a window. And I can't window one of the games I want to play, so I'm like, I can't just choose that window. But maybe other games can do that, so I don't know. So that's the problem. Like, and so in Movie Maker, that's installed in Windows XP, I was like, oh, can I connect, or can I zoom in to the part and then just forget it? Because in Hypercam, I don't think I can connect a microphone. Oh, sorry, a webcam in. Which is fine. And I don't think I can connect the microphone in either. The webcam thing is not the worst thing, but the microphone is annoying. It's not the worst, because I have this Zoom H1N. Zoom H1N. Zoom? 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 Zoom. Zoom. Zune is something else. Oh, the Zune. That's what it was. The Microsoft iPod competitor music player thing, which, hey, it tried to be more than it was while not giving you the features you wanted. So anyway, features people wanted. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So really, I think Movie Maker. Because I said I was using a Windows XP Discord server, and it was like, oh, okay, great. And they were asking me, well, good editors, all this stuff, yada yada, and like Movie Maker, and I'm like, I thought Movie Maker was not very good, and they're like, no, it's actually pretty good. For most things, it's pretty good. And look, it is. It's the stupid thing of like, it's great until you need that one feature. Because that's a problem with free video editors that I found over the years. I've used them for a couple of years now, and they're okay until you need some weird esoteric feature. And it's not necessarily esoteric, or it's just something that I guess a lot of people don't use or need. I don't know, right? I guess for Movie Maker, there wasn't enough people who use that function. I really don't know. You know what I mean? I really don't know, so. But yeah. So. I guess I'm just assuming I don't know. Because until you need some feature where it's like, but that doesn't have that, what the heck? The best free editing software I've used so far, and I've only used maybe 5 maybe, is DaVinci Resolve, but you need a GPU, and I don't have a GPU. So for me, it's like, oh, that sucks. Then I was looking, can you use DaVinci Resolve on Windows XP? And it's like, doesn't look like it, no. Like, dang, okay. Which is fine, I guess. There are a lot of older video softwares, so video editing software, so I don't know, maybe I'll try one of those older ones. I don't know. You know what I mean? I have no idea. So, right. Or fork up the money and get something like Premiere or Resolve. Resolve maybe, I don't think $300 is worth it at all. But the problem with Adobe Premiere is it's subscription based. That's the thing that I hate. I'll spend a lot of money on something as long as I spend that money once. I'm not doing this. It's the psychological thing of $1 a month? That sounds great. And then, or like, okay, maybe not $1, but like, I don't know, $15 a month. That's amazing. Yeah, 15 times 12. You end up with spending a lot of money.
15 times 12 is 100 and whatever. Let me do the math. Wait, wow, I'm bad at this. 15 times 12.
2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2. 25. 5. 5. 25. 0. 5. 1.
2. 6. $160 a year or something crazy around there. You know, God, man. You know, you just times whatever. It's not even that that's a lot of money. It's just that money could have gone somewhere else. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
And a lot of editors are good enough for a lot of people. Because there's a Discord on video editing, and subreddit on video editing.
And in the video editing
subreddit, it's like they say, best video editing software.
Just easiest ease of use video editing software. And it's like, yeah, Movie Maker. And there is no equivalent on Windows because Windows Movie Maker is not the same thing. Doesn't suffice. But anyway, so that's what I've been doing, trying to get that to work. And I didn't have sound, and I didn't have my DVD drive working, and now my DVD drive works. Can I get my CD drive to work for some reason? But the DVD drive works, so hey. Okay, I got the DVD drive work, got my sound card working, so it's not that bad. It's not the worst. And I've been using it again, going, yeah, I remember using this. And I'm kind of trying to look up all the what could you do with this thing, and what did people do with this, right? Like, what did people do with this? Like seriously, what did people do with Windows XP? Now, I know what they did. They went on the internet. They did emails. They did whatever, functionality stuff. They did all the computer things that everybody did. There were IT people. They did server stuff. They did whatever, right? I'm just saying, what did a normal, average person use Windows XP for? And I think I asked, what can you do on Windows XP now? Like, what is the thing that you can do with Windows XP? Right? And, I mean, I don't know. I guess, for me, it's just all games. So, because that's what I've always wanted. You don't want to try and get all these games working again. No, it doesn't work. For some reason, it doesn't work. In the sense that, for recording them, it doesn't work. The games work fine. A lot of the games that a lot of the games that I want to play work fine. I just got to look and see if I can window some of those games. And if I can window some of those games, we'll be good. We'll be golden. But if I can't window the games, like the first one I tried, can't window that game. So it's like, oh man. So it gives me like a weird box, and then I want to be able to see if I can take that footage off of the computer and then put it onto something like. Because see, the editor I'm using is called OpenShot, and it's like one step above the worst of the worst, because it's got a lot of stupid presets. It's got some of the features that other ones have, but in like presets. Oh, you want effects? So you want this? You want that? Yeah, you can't make it whatever you want. You gotta actually just use our weird presets. It's like, oh, you suck, and they're not good. And then, okay, something that really got me mad. I was like, what? Oh, you're kidding me, right? There's no option, or there's no function to just write in text somewhere, like write text on the screen. You have to go into something like, what's it called? Go into something like, to go into something like making an end credit, or making like a title, and it gives you like the title of the thing and then like the text you can put. It's like, why can't you just write text in? You would think that would be like a actual normal decent function, like a very basic function. That seems basic. That like it's strange not having, or at least not having. Just I can do whatever I want with it, whenever I want, wherever worst. It gives you all the options you'd ever need. It's just in a function that shows up as write whatever you want in wherever. Like, not the worst. It could be worse. That could be worse. Which, you know, I don't know. I guess it's not that bad. Man, this wind is windy, but nice because it's not boiling hot. So, the wind is nice. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. That's what I've been doing. So it's one shot, open shot. Like, it's fine for what I needed to do. It's very fine for what I needed to do. It's not like I need to do a lot, so. Especially with stuff like this podcast. Like, oh, come on, you really think I need to do a lot with this podcast? No, I do nothing. So, anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, so. Yeah, so there was that, which, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like what everybody says all the time. Just, you know, of course you're going to not have some features, but you have to pay for those features. It's like, yeah, I get it. You know? So the best is Resolve. Now, okay, DaVinci Resolve still doesn't give you all the features, but it gives you a damn, like a huge amount of them where it's like, why would I ever pay for anything? You know what I mean? So. OpenShot's one of the worst, though I've used. In the sense that it's also very unstable. So when you try and do something, it just very much blows up in your face in the sense that it'll freeze on you. It won't always crash, but a lot of times it'll crash. And then because I saw a post of some guy, and he's like on the Discord for OpenShot, or Discord, subreddit for OpenShot, and he's basically talking about how, yeah, okay, look, okay, he's like, I hate OpenShot. You can be editing for hours doing a lot of this stuff, and then it does the dreaded not responds, then it crashes, and you lose all your data, all your work, and you just have to do it again. And I guess somebody could have come back and argued, you save every, like, minute or something. But that's ridiculous. And then it gives you you lost your project? Would you like to try and recover it? And you're just like, yes, please. And then it comes up, and it's like, whatever, 10 minutes ago. And you're like, so that's the absolute worst. Like, what the heck? I don't get it. I just don't get it. In the sense that, wow, it's like unstable. It's not the worst. I've used like again, I think Movie Maker is worse because it just doesn't. Well, I don't know. It depends. But anyway, yeah. So that's what that is. So my computer's been crashing all the time. My desktop computer's been crashing. Somebody told me to try something called Who Crashed, and it'll tell you it'll give you a report, like a diagnosis of what's crashing your computer and what you have. So he's like, okay, then you got to go to DDU, which is uninstaller, driver utility uninstaller, I think it's called, or it stands for, and it'll uninstall your graphics driver and then just reinstall it. And I did that, and it gave me the exact same crashes again. And the guy kind of just was like, "You're gonna do on a subreddit for on a Discord server for Build PC. I think it's called Build Up PC. Anyway, so it's kind of terrible that way in the sense that I don't know what's causing this thing. Like months ago, I did pull out my tried to switch my RAM, and I pulled my CPU straight out because I was trying to pull my cooler off, and instead of doing a twist, which you're supposed to do, I just pulled the CPU straight out. No pins got removed, thankfully, but that could have caused something, yes. And this could be what the problem is, because it's kernel check or something that always keeps coming up. It's like, oh. So anyway, and I've reset that computer, Windows, that whole Windows, 4 times, 5 times. It's ridiculous. So it drives me a little bit nuts. It's like, oh, we suck. So it's not the absolute worst, but it's not good. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so that computer doesn't really want to work all the time. That's why streams been weird for like a week and a half or so. It's like, oh, we suck. But anyway, what are you gonna do, right? So I'm
see.
Yeah. So that's that with the computer stuff. It's just bad. It's bad sometimes. But anyway. So if you know a good video editor that's free, let me know. That gives you functions like zooming into the video, writing in text. That's about it, honestly. Multiple tracks, multiple audio tracks, multiple video tracks, overlaying, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Fades, what do you call them? Fades, I guess, what it's called? Fade ins, fade outs, I guess? I don't know. Dissolves, I don't know what they're called exactly. But yeah. So yeah, let me know. So. Also, if you know things to do on Windows XP, you can tell me that too, please. I don't know what exactly to do. Anyway, so yeah. So there's that. How long are we going for? 20 minutes. Okay, 21 minutes. 19 minutes, whatever. Yeah. So yeah. And then, okay. Because I went, what was it, thrift store 2 weeks ago, probably? Or was it 3 weeks ago now? I don't know, a while ago, actually. And oh gosh, that's hot. Oh, wow. And I found, a book. It was, X-Men 2, the novelization of the movie. But it's not the novelization of the movie, it's technically the novelization of the screenplay. Because I was like, wait, Dad, because I was made with my dad. He's like, why does it say now major motion picture though? It's because it's the novelization of the screenplay, which is what the movie's based on, or the script of the movie's based on, always, usually. So I read 2 others. I didn't finish one of them, but I finished the other one. I read Back to the Future Part 3, the novelization, and E.T., the novelization, which, they were decent, actually. They were good versions. I was like, interesting. You can get 1 and 2 novelizations of Back to the Future, and you can get E.T. There's technically the only official sequel to E.T. on E.T. in book is in book form. They never made a sequel to the movie. So apparently, I don't even know if it's how official it is, but that's what I've read, looking it up on like Googling it and all that. Like, so anyway, yeah, and it's decent so far. I mean, I don't know if because I was thinking to myself, yeah, but I know that the movie would be so action. Action. So I don't know if like this just feels weird reading it like this, like almost boring. Like he comes in and he comes attacking, and it's like great. And then maybe that just shows my lack of imagination. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe it shows a lack of imagination. I'm not 100% sure. Because that could be just I can't imagine a cool scenario. Oh yeah, that's so cool. Blah blah blah. Right? Maybe, I don't know. It all depends. I gotta keep reading it to see if that's the case, but, you know. Possibly could be. I don't know. So I was like, no wonder these aren't as popular as you would think. You know the movie. You've seen the movie. It's intense. It's very visually stimulating. You read a book called The Movie, and you'll be like, what? What is this crap? Which is why something like Back to the Future did a very good job, and even E.T. did a good job of just doing a lot, explaining a lot, doing a lot by explaining things and doing them out and making you have to like, and not a lot of just like, oh, but that's not cool because I can't see that, I can't. Well, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it necessarily, but they did a fine job. Like Back to the Future did a very good job of like tweaking everything just a little bit and adding all that. I'm not gonna say fluff. And I'm not going to say filler, but like the stuff, you know, the stuff where it's like you have to just say these things because it's a book. He walked this, that, and the other thing. All those little things where like the movie just does it in 3 seconds, and it takes like 4 paragraphs or like 2, 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs to do in a book. They added enough of those to make the thing slightly different to be like, oh yeah, that works, great. So, yeah, that's what I been doing, reading that. So, which I think they're underrated novelizations, movie novelizations. I was gonna say it could be a good way of getting kids to read, but I don't know because again, like I said, I don't know. Would you just think it's boring? Like, oh, it's so stupid, it's boring. In the sense that it's not a movie, it's not visually stimulating, Depending on what the movie is, it could work better, some could work better than others, Right? A movie where it's just basically a what do you call it, like a visual novel or a visual script can work a lot better than like big action movies, Star Wars-y type movies, or although they made a flippity-dip ton of Star Wars books, so, and they are all popular, so they're not necessarily novelizations of the movies, but a lot of those books are not seen as, well, this is boring, or oh, this is whatever. No, so maybe that's just a franchise that just works that way. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. So, right? I don't know. Comics work. I think comics work because they're visually stimulating. That's the thing. I think that's the whole like drawback to it. It's the physically stimulating thing. It's the wow. I'm using this as a timer or stopwatch, and dang, it's hot because it's got a black case on it. Oh, yo. Wow, it's hot. It's surprisingly hot. Anyway, can I put it somewhere where it's not gonna get stupid hot? No, it's all over here. That could work. There you go. That could work. And then just go like that. Yeah, cool. That could work. Yeah. So. Yeah. So I was. Oh, speaking of like novelization book type of things. I don't know if you ever read Star Wars, Shakespeare, Star Wars. Very strange, because it's like, it's the movies of Star Wars. I think it's abridged slightly, and then it just kind of cuts it down. Or I think it's abridged slightly, and it uses Shakespeare language, like Old English. There's a word for this English. It's not called Old English. There's an actual term for it. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's a term for it. Anyway, so yeah. So, but yeah, I read I started reading the first one, and then I was just like, this is actually really interesting. But then I realized I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to read books. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm like, and I think I've said this before, but I've never been diagnosed, but I'm like 85, 90% sure I have dyslexia, and ADD, not ADHD, not the hyper version, the non-hyper version. But the dyslexia, I knew for like, my brain, it's like, just gets like actually physically tired from reading. Like, I'll read a paragraph and I'll be like, and the comprehension. It's the comprehension too. That like, what did I just read? Wait, what? Like, you just have that. What did I just read? Wait. So yeah, that's another problem. Also, as a kid, I just never I was never forced to read, and my parents never were like, you better read, and so I don't have that like I don't know if I would have been the kid though, but I don't have that like love for like, oh, you forced me to read, so now I love reading. No, I probably would have been that kid who was like, you forced me to read. I hate reading. You make me want to, burn books. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. So yeah. Right. So. I'm not saying books are bad. I'm not saying I don't read. I'm trying to read so much more now. Just because that's a whole thing that's going to be completely lost to people, I'm sure. Reading, like books, like... I mean, it's not going to be the worst, but it's definitely going to be... I'm not going to say bad, but like, they're not going to read. Nobody's going to read the same way we all did. Because that's the thing, right? Or they're not going to read if they don't have to, right? I would not be surprised if there comes a time when kids aren't, like, forced, not forced, but don't have to learn to read. They just kind of pick up what they need to. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to learn to read. They just pick up whatever they have, like the most necessary fundamental parts of like the reading, right? Because that already happens with writing, right? There's lots of people who can't really spell to save their lives. They can read fine. They can't spell to save their lives, and they can just do the basics, or like they can do to a certain level. Like, oh yeah, I can write all this. Yeah. I get through whatever I need to do fine with what I know. So, which, okay, if it's working for you, I guess that's fine, but right? Yeah, I just wouldn't be surprised if like, because it was like, I think I've said before, Linus Sebastian on WAN show was like, yeah, I don't think we're going to need to learn to drive in the future. And I'm like, you're probably right. I don't want to accept that in a sense, but you're probably right. But it'll be one of these things where everyone will just accept that too. That'll be the norm too eventually. Because he was talking about how Tesla, wants to make the fleets of cars that literally drive themselves. You could rent your car out to or no, it was the fact that he was saying how you're not going to buy your own car. You're going to just use you're just going to rent a Tesla, or you're just going to like have Tesla and pay for the service to just get a Tesla whenever you need a Tesla. Because it starts with Elon Musk saying stuff like, well, you're going to be able to buy a Tesla and then put it into our like fleet program where you can carpool kind of thing, where if you're not using it and you're at work, but somebody needs your car, right? Needs a car, you just rent it out to someone for the day or for the amount of time you're at work. Because Linus is making the like point of the statistic that like your car sits, I don't know exactly what the statistic is, it's some stupid number like 75% or something, 80%, 90 even, I don't know. It's like more than 50% of the time your car is sitting in 90, they're sitting in your in a parking spot, like sitting parked. So he's trying to make the point, well, if you could just either A, not own a car, right, or B, if you do own a car, you could make money by giving it to someone, like letting somebody else use it all day, or the part of the day where you're not using it, right? So, I mean, I guess you think about it, right? It does sound like a good idea, but it's when they start saying things like you're not going to have a car. It's like, wait, no. I want that car now. I want to use it when I want to use it. I don't want to have to wait for some stupid time. I don't want to. But then, because like he said, his son is going to, because he has a son and 2 daughters, and his oldest son, is going to say, look, I want to drive because I want to drive and it'll be cool and be fun and I want to learn it. His next child, his middle, which is a daughter, is going to be like, she's not going to need to drive. And I went, I don't know if it's that drastic of a time, but yes. definitely, right? You're at a certain point, or not definitely, but like you're probably right in that at a certain point you're not going to drive. So I think it might be the same thing with books and how, but reading and how, not that we're going to stop reading, or we're not going to like teach them at all. It's just we're going to teach them the very, very basics of reading. It's because it'll be so much software or like, you know, technology based that they'll just have the basics and it'll be really bad. Well, I don't know. This is just a theory, so I don't know. But yeah, so which, you know, the car thing just gets me a little bit like, it'll take a while for people to accept that like the grandfather get out, but the people who just were born like that, oh yeah, they'll be like, driving a car, nobody's just driven a car in 100 years or something, you know. Somebody will say that one day. Driving a car. It'll be just weird, not illegal, but maybe even, y'all wouldn't be surprised if it becomes illegal thing to do, like whoa, you drove a car. But I don't even know if by that point, you know, I don't know if by that point it's just gonna be unfunctional, right? Like, as in, like, there's no function to actually drive. Like, your car cannot let you drive. You know what I mean? Just full on, flat out, just does not let you drive. Because there are cars that exist like that. There's a French company that has like fully self-driving cars, but they're definitely not like street legal ready yet. But from the tests people have done, they're like, no, it's pretty damn close. Like, nah, I don't know about that. There's like a pimp right here, and I want to see if I can pop it, but I don't think I can. And it's just not ready, and it just bothers me. No, it only bothered me because I scratched there, and I'm like, oh, it's here now. It's one of those stupid things where once you notice it, you're like, I can't stop noticing it. It's like when there's a dead pixel on a camera or something, and like, because there's a video of the 8-bit guy, and he does like I think it's a Taco cam that goes on that's on audio cassette, I think. It might be the other one, the Fisher Price Connect-A-Cam or whatever it's called. But anyway, one of the two of those. Anyway, he's like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He does the whole thing, and then he just stops and he goes, yeah, and there's a dead pixel in the corner. And he's like, hey, now you can't unsee that. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Or I didn't want to mention it because that's all you would have seen. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah. I don't know if that'll be in the future in my lifetime. Right? But it'll happen eventually, I'm sure. So, oh yeah. But yeah, so, hey, what are you going to do, right? So yeah, I'm trying to get all these podcasts onto Anchor.fm. I like Anchor because it does the work for you. Which is like, where's the catch, though? But that's the thing with the internet. The internet is very good at giving you something that's seemingly free, but in reality, no. There's some backwards thing, there's some backroom, there's some background thing that they're getting paid somehow. Like, that's the thing with the internet. You can have certain things that are 100% free, but they are getting paid some way. So, there's ads somewhere, there's something somewhere, someone's paying them, whatever, right? So, because the thing that I like is it distributes it wherever you want it to, Apple Music, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, I don't remember where else, but you can, like, embed your things, you can have the thing that I like is you can have just an RSS feed. That's it. And I can just put that on any website I want. I can embed it into my own website, I can embed it into Stitcher or Podbean or whatever, some weird esoteric thing. Just so you have all your bases covered, right? You're like, okay, good, it's good. Because back in the day, I don't know how you would do it, but you'd have to host these files somewhere. I tried hosting on Podbean, and it was like, yeah, it's great, but I only got, like, I think 3 hours, was it? Or I was only allowed, like, you only get 3 hours free. So it's like, oh man, in the sense that like, well, what if I reached the 3 hours? And the like tech support person was like, and I was like, how much is this, and what can I do here, and I only get 3 hours, and they're just like, yeah, but you know, if you I'm explaining how long my videos, my podcasts were, and they're like, yeah, well, you know, if you break them down into like half-hour chunks, you can get like 6 out of that. And I'm like, because I was explaining how they were an hour long, yeah, and I'm like, no, you can break them down, you know, or you can even do it less. You can do like 20 or 15 minutes and get like XYZ amount of them out of them, and I'm like, that's not what I want to do. So I think it was like $15 a month to host it. And then I started hearing Pat Genius Punk talk about how he uses Anchor for CU Podcast, and I was like, free, 100% free. Like, there's no catch here. It's like, no, it's not. There's no catch. I was like, okay, great. The only thing I don't like about Anchor is you can't get paid by Anchor in Canada. And that's the thing. I want to send a message, because they do messages too. They do like video messages. So if you want, or no, sorry, yeah, audio messages. So audio messages, and I want to send a message to Pat and say, or to them and say, your spiel that you make people say, if you make it say to other people, I don't even know. Pat could have just be one of the only people. I don't know. Anyway, and say, you can get paid. No minimum viewership required, listenership required. But no, you can't. Only in the U.S. Only if you're a U.S. resident. And I've put in those submission forms, like, I think it's like 3 times already. It's like, they're never going to do it. Because the person would basically, because I was talking to a representative, like a support person, and they were like, well, I mean, you can always get local ads or local sponsorships. And I'm like, I've tried certain ones of those. They don't want to give me any damn local ads. Which, I don't blame them. I'm a tiny little thing. Who cares? But, and nobody cares about the podcast anyway. I've learned that right now. Nobody cares about the podcast. I don't know why I do it sometimes. I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised though if I get big, or just, you know, medium. And then people are looking back going, oh, what were the old stuff? What was the cool stuff? What was the good stuff? What was the first stuff? What was it? Whatever. So, anyway. So yeah, that's about that. So yeah. That's, yeah. So yeah. I think it's anchor.com/Tacoimposter. I might have to change that, because it might be Tacoimposter, but it's actually Tacoimposters with an S. I think the name of the thing is right. I think it's just that the title of each podcast is wrong. I think. I'm not 100% sure about that. I know that the title of the podcast is wrong, but I don't know if the actual of each episode is wrong. But I don't know if the title of the actual podcast is wrong. I think it's right. I think it's anchor.fm/Tacoimposters. Try with an S, try without an S. It's just got a picture of a taco if you get it, you know. If you see a picture of a taco in the logo, that's me. You're good. You got the thing. It's also on Apple, and it's on Apple, and it's on Google, so we're good there. The order's wrong because I have to change the order of all the stuff out. And I was like, can you change the order? And the person was like, yeah, you just have to change the release date. And I'm like, there's just not a easier way of doing this. And they're like, not really, no. So, I'm like, ugh, that's kind of a little bit of annoying. It's not the worst. It could be worse, but it's, you know, not great. I need something like a tie on. Because then I could put it like right here instead of being, or like right here instead of being on my thing, which is closer to my throat. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good, bad word. I don't know. But yeah. So that's what I got to do, and what I've been doing, and what is going on. So. Also, I want to try and get videos of stuff from my, like I said at the beginning, from XP. So be on the lookout for some games from XP. Well, you're not going to know it's from XP, but it'll be games that I use, and I'll be using my XP computer to do so. Because it's either the video editing software or Hypercam 2. So I'll be using, and then I'll just record it through the Zoom H1N, and then that'll, oopsies, don't do that, and then that'll be that. So, though you won't see face cam because it's too much work. Sorry. I mean, I could set it up, but Gosh, man. Anyway, so I think that'll be it for now, guys. So just a sec. Let me see if I can get this to turn off at the exact same time. Adios, mi amigos.